There's something unsettling about an empty gym after hours. The rows of silent machines, the flickering fluorescent lights, the muffled thuds from a weight rack no one touched. But what if you weren't actually alone? What if someone or something refused to leave, even after death? Story 1. The Shadow in the Sauna. Tom wasn't a superstitious man, just a solo traveler stopping by a 24-hour gym attached to his hotel. After a long day on the road, he wanted to unwind in the sauna. The room was humid and quiet, except for the occasional drip of condensation. But as the steam thickened, he noticed it, a figure sitting in the far corner, barely visible through the haze. He swore he heard faint breathing, raspy and uneven. He tried to ignore it, until the figure slowly turned its head. It wasn't a man. The eyes were hollow, sunken pits, and yet they stared right into his. Tom bolted out, dripping wet, but the hallway outside was dead silent. Later, he found out the gym sauna had been closed for months, after a guest was found unresponsive inside. They never figured out how long he had been sitting there. Tom's mind wouldn't let it go. He lay awake in his hotel room, replaying the moment over and over. Had he imagined it? He could still feel the weight of that hollow stare. The next day, he forced himself back into the gym, determined to shake the fear. The staff barely looked up when he walked in, except one older employee who stared at him a little too long. Tom asked about the sauna. The employee's expression darkened. "You're better off leaving that alone," he muttered. Curiosity gnawed at him. He found an old news article online. A businessman mid-40s, found dead in that very sauna, the body so dehydrated they mistook him for a mannequin at first. But that wasn't the worst part. The article mentioned that witnesses saw the man earlier that day, leaving the gym, chatting with staff. Security footage proved otherwise. He never left the sauna. That night, Tom woke up to the smell of burning cedar and hot steam in his hotel room. His skin felt damp. He wasn't sweating, it was condensation. He reached for his phone, but his hand hit something wet and rough on the nightstand. A gym towel. He hadn't brought one back with him. The towel smelled like old, stagnant sweat. Tom fled the hotel before sunrise. He never looked back. Story 2. The Treadmill That Never Stopped. Claire loved her late-night runs. The gym was nearly empty at 2 a.m., just her and the rows of unoccupied machines. Except for one treadmill. It was running. The belt moved steadily, but no one was on it. Thinking someone forgot to turn it off, Claire approached, and noticed something strange. The speed kept changing, faster then slower, like someone was adjusting it. Her stomach tightened when she saw the control panel. The buttons were pressing themselves. She felt a cold breeze on her neck and turned, expecting someone behind her. No one. But when she looked back at the treadmill, it wasn't empty anymore. A figure stood on it, gaunt, drenched in sweat, running in place, its head jerking unnaturally with each stride. She blinked, and it was gone. The treadmill still ran, belt spinning faster and faster until it finally snapped. Claire couldn't shake the feeling that someone, something, wanted her to see that. The next day, she asked a trainer about the treadmill. His face paled. "That machine's been broken for weeks," he said quietly. "We can't get it to stop running." Determined to prove she wasn't imagining things, Claire returned to the gym that night. The treadmill wasn't running this time. It was worse. The machine's display flickered on, glitching between numbers and strange symbols. Then it spelled out her name. Claire. Her blood turned cold. A loud thud echoed from behind her. She spun around, but the gym was empty. The only sound was the soft hum of the other machines. When she turned back to the treadmill, the screen was blank. She never went back. The gym quietly removed the treadmill a week later. Story 3. The Locker Room Guest Who Never Left. FS Mike wasn't the type to believe in ghosts. He hit the gym late after work, showered, and got ready to head home. He heard shuffling in the locker room's far corner, figured someone else was finishing up. But when he looked, it was just rows of lockers, and an old battered gym bag that looked like it had been there for years. Mike left, but something didn't feel right. He turned around at the exit, and froze. The bag wasn't in the corner anymore. It was right by the door. That night, Mike dreamed of the locker room. The smell of mildew and rusted metal filled his nose. In the dream, he wasn't alone. A man stood by the mirror, his back to Mike, head tilted at an unnatural angle. The man was muttering. Mike couldn't understand the words. The next day, Mike found the gym's manager. He described the old gym bag. The manager's face went pale. He told Mike to wait, disappearing into his office. When he returned, he was holding a photo. It showed a man standing in the locker room, the same corner Mike had seen the bag. He used to work out here every night, the manager said. But he disappeared. Police found his car outside. His wife swears he never came home. Mike stared at the photo. The man's gym bag was right next to him. Mike quit the gym. He couldn't shake the feeling that the man wasn't gone. He still swears to this day that sometimes he catches the faint smell of mildew and sweat, even in his own home. Chilling, low whisper. The gym is supposed to make you feel stronger, healthier, alive. But some guests never leave. If you think these stories were disturbing, wait until you hear what happened when someone rented an Airbnb, and the last guest refused to check out. Watch it next, if you dare.